HARK, we are here. It is time. We have another episode of Ryback Needs to Put Stuff on YouTube. In today's episode, I'm going to quickly, as best I can and concisely, talk about a game that was announced yesterday, and I know I'm already behind all of the stuff, but for something that you guys may or may not know about me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And yesterday, out of the blue, Fantasy Flight Games, owned by Asmodee, owned by Embracer Group, announced that they are going to be creating a trading card game called Star Wars Unlimited. So let's quickly take a look at the press release. Today, Fantasy Flight Games, in collaboration with Lucasfilm Limited, announced the upcoming release of Star Wars Unlimited, an all-new trading card game of unlimited possibilities. This game features iconic heroes, villains, ships, and settings from all facets of the legendary Star Wars franchise, including movies, TV series, comics, video games, and everything in between. The game will globally launch in 2024. Now, there's a couple things here that make me super excited. One, not so excited. One is, I wish it was here sooner than 2024. Waiting for things to release has never really been my strong suit. I've been waiting for Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is the new miniatures game by Atomic Mass Games, owned by Asmodee, owned by Embracer Group, to come out, which the release date on that is June 2nd. Look for more stuff on the Twitch and the YouTube for that coming. But specifically, waiting for this game to come out in 2024 is going to be nerve-wracking, but we'll see how it goes from there. The things that do excite me is heroes, villains, ships, settings from all facets of the Star Wars franchise. And that includes, and this is what entertains me the most, comics, video games, and everything in between. Obviously, they're going to do movie stuff. Obviously, they're going to do TV stuff. But if they're saying that comics, video games, and everything in between are there, my hope is that that will also include old Legends stuff if necessary. But the big thing is bring that High Republic comic in, bring the Star Wars comic in, bring Afra, bring in the Poe Dameron stuff, bring in Inferno Squad from Battlefront, give me all the Jedi Fallen Order stuff, give me all the Jedi Survivor stuff, all of it. Just inject it directly into my veins. So far, so good, minus the wait. Star Wars Unlimited is a fast-paced, dynamic game that is both easy to learn and strategically deep. This is kind of, maybe. Everybody says it's easy to learn, but strategically deep. Not every game that comes out like that. We'll see. The robust development of the game has been underway for the past 3 years, and fans can look forward to a regular release schedule of 3 sets per year. Fully integrated into the entire experience, organized play has been designed alongside the game from the beginning and will be ready on day one. From weekly store-level community experiences to worldwide large-scale events, there will be something for gamers of all levels to enjoy. So I like hearing that it's been in development for 3 years. That means they're not just pushing this out because they need to push out a new TCG. They've been working on this since 2020, as it seems. Probably. They've been working on this since Star Wars Destiny shut down. Regular release schedule of 3 sets per year sounds fantastic. Give us a new set every 4 months. That's a nice, solid state of releases to get to. It's not Magic's absolutely insane schedule of 1 product every other month or 1 product every month. It's also not Bandai's whole give you a big product once every 4 to 5 months and a small product in between. Bandai sucks. 3 sets a year. I think this is a little bit less than what Flesh and Blood does, because Flesh and Blood I think does 3 big sets and 1 minor set a year, but I can't speak specifically to that. Organized play developed right from the beginning. That's going to be fantastic. I'm excited for that. Ensuring this game is accessible to all players is key to us. So whether you're a casual player, competitor, or collector, there's something for everyone in this game, says Jim Cartwright, Product Strategy Director for Fantasy Flight Games. Straightforward mechanics are the driving force behind the design. It's clean and concise with no gimmicks, a card game in its purest form. I'm a little wary at this, but I'm on board. I'm on board to try anything at least once. Most things at least once. Star Wars fans and collectors alike will be able to experience the Star Wars gameplay in a whole new way with never-before-seen refreshing art. Dedicated TCG fans and collectors can look forward to seeking out alternative cards with special treatments and variant visual designs. Never-before-seen refreshing new art is exciting. I have always been a fan of Fantasy Flight's art design for the things that they have done for games before with Star Wars Destiny, Star Wars the LCG, Armada, Legion, Imperial Assault, and what's the other game? X-Wing. So new art makes me kind of sad that we won't see the old art as much, but hopefully the new art is pretty good. And then in terms of special treatments, alternate cards, and variant visual designs, that's a fantastic chase thing for people to be able to do. That's what's going to make the boosters sell as well as they need to for the game to be successful. Collectors chasing down the high rarity things, and hopefully the things that matter for gameplay will not be as difficult to acquire. Having the opportunity to commission new art for every card in this game ensures that there will be exciting and cohesive style throughout. That makes sense. We really thought about what the cards would look like on the table next to one another, said Brian Schmomberg. I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name. Visual creative director for Fantasy Flight Games. We're proud to be creating something so unique with the legendary characters and settings that Lucasfilm has brought to life in the Star Wars franchise. Star Wars Unlimited is a culmination of FFG's rich history mixed with celebrated Star Wars brand. As a studio, we're putting unprecedented resources across every department into this game. We could not be more excited to get this out into the world for everyone to experience, says Chris Gerber, Fantasy Flight Games head of studio. We can't wait to show you more. Keep an eye out on Fantasy Flight Games social media channels for more information, yada yada blah blah blah. And then as most press releases go, you have Fantasy Flight Games and then Asmodee. This is a little sample of what we're probably going to expect for the art itself. This is not really going to work. Actually, let's see. Hey, there we go. So we do have here a it's a realistic style in terms of you're going to see who the actors and actresses of these characters are supposed to be, but it still has its own artistic, almost comic book style art to it. So we'll see how well that goes. It's very different from Shatterpoint, which is definitely more an animation style art based upon how we see with like the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that. And still even further different from this, which is the High Republic book art. So that's actually good. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I'm always down for new art. I just hope it's going to be good across the board. And there's no other issues that come with it. One last thing in the email, we have this guy right here. I had to take a picture of this so you guys wouldn't necessarily see my email. Global launch in 2024. That means it's going to launch in all regions. It's going to be available at the same time, hopefully. Fast-paced, easy to learn, but strategic deep gameplay. We went through that before. Regular release schedule, 3 sets per year. We went through that before. Organized play with weekly store-level events to worldwide experiences to worldwide events. That excites me. I've been trying to see if I can get into a competitive card game like Flesh and Blood to get out there and be a little bit more public with stuff, but I think this is what's going to tie me in because I've always been a big Star Wars fan. I've played almost every single Star Wars card game that exists, including that new awful deck building game. Collect alternate cards with special treatments and variant designs. I think the big thing here was the global launch in 2024. That basically means that they are going to try to put everything across the board for everyone in at least one region. So, or at least one set release across the region. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it very well, but off the cuff, I'm not scripted, Anyway, I am excited for this. I think that this is going to be really fun. Fantasy Flight Games actually makes a lot of really good games, even if you don't appreciate the way that they do either their release methods or some of the issues that they had before. Obviously, Star Wars Destiny started off real rocky, even though it was a very strong game. The availability of the first set, Awakening, was very small because people kind of dumped on it to begin with, thinking it was going to be a stupid kidsy game. And then they saw gameplay, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. I know that Team Covenant was a part of that in terms of making the game more popular than it probably could have been right off the bat. They went whole hog. Depending on if they get demos of this early on, which they should, I think that they might also go whole hog on this, which I'm fully supporting. I'm probably going to go whole hog on this unless something about the game itself tells me that it's not going to be good. Because even if it only lasts for a few years, it's still a card game that I can get in on the ground floor of and support and build and also at least keep my collection afterwards. So I have ideas on how, depending on how deck building goes, depending on how the collections go, how I want to maintain a collection here. But I think that this is really cool. I think that this is something that we don't know a lot about. So everything that I'm saying right now is obviously speculation other than what I've read. But I trust Fantasy Flight to make a good game. Fantasy Flight games are good. The LCG was good. Okay, let's say that. Let's rephrase that. Most Fantasy Flight games are good, especially ones that I've played. The LCG was good. It was a fantastic game. It is my favorite LCG I've ever played. Destiny was a fantastic game. It was not balanced properly across sets, across blocks, but I think individually block-based and then also the gameplay was relatively balanced. I played a lot during the first few sets and ended up getting out, but I've been slowly buying product of it. You can't see it from here, but there's a sealed box back there with some draft sets to draft with a friend of mine whenever that happens. But the only game I could say of Fantasy Flights that I've played, 2 games I've played of Fantasy Flights that I've not enjoyed. Their Legend of the Five Rings L5R reboot, that was not a very fun game. And then honestly, the deck building game was not great. It really wasn't. But that person's name does not seem to be tied to this game, so that should be fine, even though that person is also responsible for designs in Marvel Champions, which I do enjoy. Haven't played in a while, but I do enjoy Marvel Champions. So there's a lot of levels here to it. There's a lot of possibility, a lot of different things that are potentially going to happen as a result of this game being released. 3 things need to happen. The game needs to be available. You need to be able to walk into a hobby shop, a local game store, whatever, be able to pick up product off the shelves. They need to correct the errors of Star Wars Destiny right off the bat. They need to have the set available for everyone to purchase day one. If that does not happen, it will fail. The gameplay needs to be good. Gameplay needs to be solid. It needs to be easy to learn. It needs to have a level of depth in deck building and gameplay that makes it so that it's not just whoever has the best cards. It's whoever is able to play the game the best. And balance needs to be tight in that first set. It needs to be tight. So that's number 2. If that doesn't happen, the game will fail. And number 3 is organized play needs to be hot and heavy immediately. They need to have a big event right off the bat. I would say stores need to be ready to run events within the first month of this game being released. I'd say casual get-togethers need to be ready within the first week, maybe even the first day. Have people just come in, grab starters, grab boxes, open all their stuff up, sleeve up their cards, go out and play, get the demos done and ready to go. It needs to be something that people are prepared to work on right away, and competitive events or a competitive circuit needs to be available within the first, I'd say, month or 2. If that doesn't work, it will fail. What we're seeing in the market space is Flesh and Blood is successful because it has a very robust competitive scene. The product is available for people to use and the game mechanics are good. It's not part of the big 3, but it's still got enough market share for competitive players for it to be a good game. Magic is failing. Will it fail completely and ultimately? No. But their product is not always available. They don't really have a competitive scene. Sure, the Grand Prix, the Pro Tour circuit kind of exists, but most people play Commander. And the gameplay of the game is starting to shift in an area where it's not as solid, not as tight as it used to be because of all the different card designs that they need in order to make their game successfully sell. Magic story is still pretty good, honestly. I like it. I love it. I watch all the videos. I read as many of the stories as I can. I read 2 of them, March of the Machine Aftermath stories. We're not here to talk about Magic. We're here to talk about Star Wars. 3 things: product availability, compelling and competitive gameplay, organized play. If it loses any of those 3, it's dead. But I'm willing to put my neck out to see this being successful. So you may see more stuff on this channel. I might make a new channel. Who knows? This channel doesn't really run ads, ads are across YouTube regardless. I don't make money off ads. There's no monetization here. It is something that I would like to monetize, but we'll see. I may stick to certain things on this channel and then try to do card games on a separate channel. I hate the idea of having a secondary YouTube channel, but we'll see. We'll see how that all ends up. I'll take it day by day as it goes, but obviously we're still at least a year away from this, I think. I genuinely think we're not going to see this until maybe even next year's May the 4th event, maybe next year's Gen Con. Hopefully we get to see something this year at Gen Con, which I believe is in August. And yes, August 3rd through August 6th. So maybe we'll get to see something cool for Gen Con right off the bat. But for me, hopefully what's going to keep my attention for the time being is going to be Star Wars Shatterpoint. June 2nd is the release of that game. I'm going to go pick my stuff up and I'm going to spend the entire week building, painting, getting everything set up, trying to figure out the rules, trying to get out the gameplay. But with Star Wars Unlimited, honestly, I want to be on the ground floor. I want to be able to get there and get things done. So hopefully y'all will join me in that adventure on this YouTube channel, on Twitch, on all of my lovely socials and stuff like that. Twitter.com/RybackStun. Check me out there. Everything links to there. Everything links from there. Like, comment, subscribe on this video. I know everybody hates the YouTube thing, but it is what it is. So thank you very much for joining me, everybody. We'll be back again. I have no idea when. I won't say soon. I won't insult your intelligence by promising you something that probably won't happen. But I'll definitely try to put out a video for my experiences for Shatterpoint when it comes to be released. So thank you very much. With that, this is me, RybackStun. I have an outro figured out at some point, but I can't remember what it is. Peace.